Welcome to this session. I thought I'd make a recording of this because somebody asked me the other day if I could do that thing to them that I did with them a couple of years ago, and this is it. It's called the Guided Coach, a series of questions to help you with your thinking. So are you sitting comfortably? Have you got a pen and paper? Or are you just going to be doing a bit of thinking with your eyes shut? It's entirely up to you, but here we go. So what specifically do you want to achieve? Be as specific as you can. What will your measure of success be? And what date will you achieve it by? Now you can stop this at any time if you want to go back to any questions. How will you celebrate? So on a scale of 1 to 10, how achievable do you believe this to be? 1 is low and 10 is high. So if your score is 5 or less, you might want to go back and have a think about the time scales, think about the task you've set yourself, and reassess your goal to give yourself, when you answer this question, a 6 or more out of 10. So if you've stopped and gone back and come back again, is your score 6 or more? If it is, we can move on. So what's the strongest reason for wanting to achieve this goal? You might want to start thinking about all your reasons. Keep asking what else, what other reasons, and out of those, which is the strongest reason for wanting to achieve your goal? What are the possible tasks, things you need to do that could help you achieve your goal? And when you start with these, you might want to leave some space so you can come back and add any extra tasks in there. So what are the possible tasks that could help you achieve your goal? And what resources might possibly help? So what things are you going to need that might help? What possible reasons are there for involving others? There's a slide to help with this. So is it because it's their job? Is it because they have followers? Might it be because they're good at it? Or a friend? Is it because they've got time? They're an expert at it? What are the reasons you might want to involve others? So you just thought of all the reasons you might involve others. Now who could you possibly involve? Who else? What possible ways might you communicate your goal to others? Thinking of the different people you need to involve, how will you communicate to others? How might you possibly get their buy-in or commitment? They need to have a reason for getting involved. So how might you possibly obtain their buy-in or commitment? What else could you do? What possible obstacles or barriers might you face? What else might get in the way? How could you possibly overcome these obstacles? What possible risks might there be? Might it be worth thinking about in relation to what you want to do? What risks and implications might it be useful to think about? How could you possibly minimize those risks? Thinking about each of the risks, how will you minimize them? Imagine the world's greatest expert was here. What might they possibly say that could help you achieve your goal? Or you might try thinking about the world's worst. The worst example you can think of. Does that help you think about what you possibly could do? There's some prompts here that can help if you get stuck. So you can think about things like, how might you do things faster? How could you gain the skills you need? Who could you possibly involve? With a magical wand, what would you wish for? What would you make disappear? They might give you some more ideas. Are there any limitations that you might have imposed upon yourself? What might they be? What assumptions might you have made? What else could you possibly do to help yourself if there was just one last thing? So which of those possibilities are your priorities? What's your top priority? So what exactly will you do? By when? Think about who you will involve and how you'll involve them. Specifically, who will you choose to involve? And how will you go about involving them and getting their commitment? By when? Give yourself a time. Plan in the time to do it. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you now that your goal will be achieved? Has it gone up or down from when you first thought of it? How strong is your reason now? Are you prepared to take personal responsibility for making this happen? How much time are you prepared to set aside to do what needs to be done? It could include what you might be prepared to give up. How will you plan in the time? What is the first action that you will take? When will you take it? You might want to put that in your diary now. How will you measure and review your results? What was your original self-belief? And what was your final self-belief? Did it change? And have you now got a first step? So hopefully that's given you something to think about. That was a little guided coach session. There are other tools on the website that you can find. It's all free to download, www.thinkfc.org.uk. Please feel free to share it with others. There's a few top tips here that might be of interest here. So you might have noticed lots of whats and hows and possiblies. It's all about asking the right question. Lots of open questions. What and a how and a little bit of who. Avoiding why. It's quite a good tip. Sometimes asking somebody why can be a bit in your face, a bit confrontational, so avoid using why if you can. And you can reframe, like, what are your reasons? So this tool, I think, helps people keep focused on what it actually is they want. Focus your attention on where it's needed and then try and avoid going off on irrelevant tracks. I'm thinking about the future, so it's all about moving forward and making steps. Try not to, if possible, asking multiple questions. So just ask one question at a time. And your role as a coach is about helping others achieve the things that they want for themselves. So saying things like, don't you think you should do this? Is not what this is for. Try and avoid making any judgments. You will have noticed in the middle of that there was a very specific question, which was, will you do it? So sometimes it's really good to say a yes or a no. There are ways of opening up the mind, so you'll have heard lots of high quality questions that were about opening up the mind, generating possibilities. The ones that start what, how, who, and then end in could, might, possibly. Whereas another type of high quality question is one where you want to focus the mind in and get into a specific answer. So that's, will you do it, when, etc. A little bit of summary there. So what, how, who, where and when. Open up the mind, followed by could, might, possibly. So what might you possibly, how might you possibly, who might possibly, when could you, where might you. So all of those things will generate ideas. And when you want to close in, you might want to start with the same, what, how, who, where, when, but follow that with will and with can. So feel free to practice and use this little recording and hopefully help you get things done. Feel free to join us on Facebook or Twitter or YouTube, and hopefully see you soon. Happy thinking.